The annual Hastings Chess Congress takes place this year from the 28th of December 2025 to the 4th of January 2026. It's always over New Year. It's the 99th edition of the Congress. The first one took place in 1895. The list of previous participants at Hastings reads like a roll call of the greats of the chess world. It really is something else. The other night I had the pleasure of chatting with the tournament director, Grandmaster Stuart Conquest, who grew up in Hastings. And we looked at some of our favourite games from past Hastings tournaments. So what I've done is I've taken a clip from that broadcast. And in this clip you can see we're looking at the game between Korchnoi and Karpov, who played in the 1971-1972 Congress. The game was played in the penultimate round. Karpov led by half a point. And this game foreshadows their great rivalry later on in the 1970s. By the way, it's not too late to enter the Hastings Congress. Apart from the main open tournament, there are rating categories. There's also a closing weekend tournament. And, lots more going on besides. So do check it all out at hastingschess.com. Now, let's take a look at this fantastic game.
I think this game was played down also quite late in the event, even one of the very last rounds. And Karpov, if I'm not mistaken, was ahead at this point going into this game.
Right, because actually I just had a quick look at the cross table and I'd forgotten actually that they tied for first.
They did.
And of course that was only because Korchnoi won this game against Karpov. And he absolutely crushed him. And it sort of foreshadows their incredible rivalry. Of course, in World Championship matches, they played in 1974, the candidates final, which Karpov won, which meant that he qualified to play against Fischer.
So we have a Tory attack, White gives up the bishop pair, but in return has the censor. And he castles queenside, does he not?
Yeah, I mean, to my mind, Karpov was already played inaccurately, actually. Because after bishop g5, so a Torre, for me, b6 is not the best move. And I think after this, I think White has a pleasant position.
Yeah.
Because normally, okay, just a little bit of context for our viewers. Trompovsky and e6 is a very normal move. And then e4. And in this position, Black normally plays with d6. And basically you go for e5. After due preparation, but you don't play with b6. And with b6, this is actually quite pleasant for White. Yeah, a6 played, an unfortunate move really, but after this and bishop a6, quite nice for White.
It's a bit annoying, that's right.
Yeah. And typically, of course, Korchnoi likes these positions. He loves to castle queenside actually with White.
Mm.
Okay, I'm just going to zip through this first bit. Knight c4, very nice. He's looking to spin around here and looking at these nice squares.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to leave this one for our viewers. Okay, White to play. What would you do next? White to play. Neil Irving asks, which year was it? So it was the Hastings Congress 1971-1972. 1972. So yeah, I think you're right, Stuart. It was maybe the penultimate round, or two or
Or
three
the one
rounds
before
from
that.
the end. Yeah, or the
Yeah.
round before that. I think the
Mm.
penultimate. White to play. White to play.
So this game, tell me, Danny, this game made a big impression on you at the time or when you first saw it anyway.
I remember at the time, just because there were extraordinary. One sense there was a real rivalry between them.
Mm.
I was very young. No, I probably didn't see it at the time. I remember reading, seeing this game actually at the time of the 1974 match.
Mm.
So it was afterwards that I saw it.
Right.
And there was this
Right.
book that was produced by, I think, Bill Hartson and Ray Keane on the 1974 match, and it was
Mm.
included in that book. And that's when I first saw the game. I mustn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. I wasn't sufficiently chess aware in 1971. I was a bit too young. And yes, Neil Irving. It was certainly pre-defection.
Oh, very
Um,
much so. Yeah.
so I saw it in that book, and I just thought, wow, yeah, they were. I was just amazed that they were sort of fighting so hard against each other. Tweedledee says, good moment for d5. Yeah, definitely d5, shutting out that bishop.
Yeah.
And I think with the bishop on c2, then c6 doesn't really feel right. And yeah, maybe the knight can hop in here, and maybe the bishop
Sure.
comes round. Looks very nice. So yeah, d5. I've got to say, well, it's interesting actually. Of course, Korchnoi could have taken on c6, but after c5, he didn't take. Could have done, I think,
Mm.
but instead just switched round. You surprised by c5?
A little bit, yeah. For black, although, what's black doing? I mean, it looks that white is going to be pushing up on the king side with h4, bring a knight round, possibly g4, g5, as we'll see, I think. And black needs something. Black,
But
with the bishops
but
blocked in by his own pawns.
but that's why I think, to my eyes, c5 is a very strange move, because the queen side is still closed.
Why
c6
not play
would,
c6, in other words? Yeah.
yeah, I think it was a bit careless from Karpov actually.
Mm.
Right, I'm going to hand this over again to our viewers. White to play. What did Korchnoi do next? So,
You
Stuart,
must have played.
Sorry, go
Sorry,
on.
Dan. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you what was the sort of first congress you played in, or even before then? When were you sort of aware of the congress, or were you just aware right from the moment you actually moved there?
Well, I mean, my dad took me along to the Falaise Hall, which was the venue at the
Yeah.
time, and I remember walking around and the bookstall. I think my father brought a very nice chess board and chess set on that occasion,
Mm.
which I still have. And but I remember going down to the premiere event, as for example, Korchnoi-Karpov, but this would be in something like 1977, 76, 77, or possibly 77, 78. And seeing the grandmasters and masters playing there in the sort of a theatre setting, in effect,
Yeah.
with an audience there, everyone quietly watching the big old-fashioned demonstration boards
Yeah.
showing the moves, and just sort of being, like many of us, a little bit awestruck
Yes.
at the sight of these legends and these great players there on the stage.
Yeah.
With everyone hushed, and occasionally a move would be played, and the board boy would make the move on the. It was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
loved it. So that was my first, and then I started playing, but in the lowest of the low tournaments. I mean, really beginning. I mean, I was compared my strength then with the first game we saw of young Louis at 9 years old. Man, I couldn't have played a game like that. Not a hope,
Mm.
at that age.
Yeah.
Um,
We've
but yeah,
got suggestions for uh, g5 and h4. I mean, I think both
Mm.
moves are good, but typical Korchnoi, he was always in a hurry.
yeah,
Honestly, he was always so completely direct. And the point is, if this is taken, then this just opens up lines. And I mean, f6 is absolutely dreadful. And I mean,
That's right.
this is practically mate. Absolutely crushing. So
Yep.
h5 played, and now, well, in fact, Murakan has suggested this. Yeah, geez, this is the point, that it's possible just to open things up like this.
Very important g6 before black plays g6 himself.
And then knight g5. Wow. I mean, this is absolutely horrible for black. It's rare that you see Karpov in such a position where, positionally he's just getting taken apart, actually. So I'm just going to zip through because I'm conscious. I want to look at some other games. It's an octopus. I'm actually even quite surprised at the way that Korchnoi played this, because he went in and grabbed material, and it all worked out beautifully. But I have to say, my first thought would be just to continue, hammering down the G file, because obviously that can't be taken because of this. It doesn't look bad. Anyway, I'm sure he must have spotted something, but
looks good.
I'm just going to go through the next few moves quickly, because there's a moment which I think is very interesting. So Korchnoi's won the exchange, and he's just taking care of a bit of counterplay on the queen side. But now he returns to this side of the board.
Yeah.
Now, can anyone find a plan for white? White to play. So essentially, how are you going to break through?
Yeah. It's not straightforward, is it? I mean,
well, it is, because I've seen the game.
Well,
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not sort of mating two.
I was going to ask you quickly, Dan. You spoke earlier of the Soviet grandmasters from Hastings coming to play symbols. You must have played a few of them yourself.
Oh golly,
in your time.
This was, for me, it was an absolute high point of the year. You played the London Junior Championships after Christmas. So I grew up in London, and there were like hundreds of kids playing somewhere in central London, or North London usually, actually in Islington. And then afterwards, these prize givings and then the simultaneous plays. So yeah, I played against Bronstein, I played against Vaganyan. Oh golly, I can't remember. I didn't play against Korchnoi. I think I was Korchnoi was playing against the stronger ones, and I was in the lower group. I think I only got to play against Vaganyan. I mean, Vaganyan, amazing.
Well, come on.
Yeah, he was brilliant. I think he won.
He won Hastings one year,
Yeah, I think it was after that.
Pretty sure
he
won one
that
year.
I played against him. And then Hort, I played against. Incredibly strong in the 1970s. One of the strongest players in the world. Dorian, I played against, who, again, in the 1970s, quite a pretty strong player. I probably, I didn't get to play against Korchnoi, but Tweedledee suggests f4 and then e5, sacking the house. Well, maybe, but it's a little bit problematic. There's actually a more reliable way of breaking through. No one's actually... Well, Murakan says the bishop needs to get back in the game. It's true, but not in the not via f4 basically. So the game went like this. Stuart, you're right when you say it's not straightforward. A little bit surprising. Korchnoi played queen f1, and then bishop e2. I mean,
queen f1. He looks like he's maybe thinking about f4. I'm sure he wasn't. A little bit of misdirection maybe there.
Yeah,
and then bishop e2.
Absolutely, or maybe considering you know,
Okay, sure.
maybe, you know,
That's right.
as you say, a bit of misdirection, perhaps sending a message that perhaps he was looking to bring the queen out here or something like that, and suddenly he's just done this, and this is game over, because the threat is to take here, and bishop
Right.
h5, and indeed, well, in that position, the queen would come out to h3. I mean, I think that's a sort of by the by, and this is what happened in the game, and this is absolutely crushing, because if knight takes, then bishop h5, take here,
Right.
and basically the king is in a mating net.
And look at Black's
Combination.
bishop on a8. Black's poor bishop.
Terrible, yeah. So in fact, Karpov just gave up his queen, hoping, I think, to put up some defense with this lovely knight. But
Right.
well, this was meat and drink for Korchnoi. Actually, I think this is a brilliant move. It's funny, you know, there are going to be lots of ways to win this to win this position, but knight g2, that really surprised me actually.
It's very nice.
So basic idea, if this is taken, and then the mate is actually unavoidable. Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
really cool
Beautiful.
move. So
Beautiful.
it's just a way of getting rid of that strong knight. And, well, white is taking a lot of pawns.
Mm.
And, well, here, Karpov resigned.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely superb.